Mom came up and I told her what was going on. I said, I'm tired of my son getting black eyes and big bruises on his head from your kid coming up and beating his head against the sidewalk. That's the end of it.
Wow. Well, I didn't know all that stuff.
Yep. So he never got to get out of the house and come up to my house ever again.
Wow. Okay. No wonder I was fucked up as a child. Oh, sorry. I got demonetized right there. Bang.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Well,
another
that's
story.
that's that's why I was never fond of violence.
No, I mean that boy was just horrible. That's absolutely horrible. I chased him so many times. I even grabbed his head and beat it on the sidewalk. I said, "Now how do you on the curb?" Actually, is what he was doing. And I said, How I'm going to show you what it feels like." And I grabbed his head and hair and beat it on the side on the curb. I said, "Now, how do you like that? How does it feel?" He was crying so hard, and I said, "Go home, tell your mom I did it. I don't care. Bring her up." She never did come up. No, you don't beat my kid and not get your kid back. No. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. That was coasty people, see?
Crazy coasty people.
Yep.
Like a different kind of way that they grew up, you know.
Exactly.
They didn't grow up in a place where they had to really go out and cut wood and hunt
Go
varmints.
hunting
Yeah,
and fishing.
none of that stuff. It was all, you know, they were in Seattle. Everything was pretty much right there available. City life,
Yeah.
you know, it kind of shows how the blending of humanity and social constructs.
Yep. Yep. Country living is much better for kids.
Huh, yeah.
Especially because we went camping all the time. We went up, rode the motorcycles all the time. The four wheelers. Look at you, you guys have your own four wheelers. How about your four wheelers? And you go up in the mountains up in there and ride the four wheelers when you were like 10, 12 years old, and that's what you lived on. Right? That was
Well,
your
that was
toy.
I rode Grandma's four wheeler.
Grandma's four wheeler.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you still rode one all the time, and you
yeah.
had your own bicycle, and you could go and do whatever you wanted. You guys used to go up and camp out for 2 or 3 days and have a hell of a good time. You know, you and Dan and your kids from school, the other two kids that live in town, the other two boys, you know, and go
Mm-hmm.
and did all that. Yeah, you had it made. Country living is a good place to raise kids. That's the only thing I can say. City life is not any good place to do it. I'm glad I got out. I really am. Mm. Made you what you are today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wonder how much time we have on the camera. 20. We've only been talking for 27 minutes. Can you believe it?
How long did it play?
It could play for, wow, wait, up to an hour
Oh,
or more. Wow, wait.
next story.
Next story.
What is the next story?
What is the next story? Let's see. I would be 12 years old and I slammed into a tree.
Oh God,
Tell me about that day.
that was the worst day of my life. He was riding his horse, and he was coming. It was late coming home from. We got home from school, and then he went over to his friend's house, and he was late coming home for dinner. So I called on the phone, and told him, I says, dinner's ready. You better get home. So he come flying home on his horse at a dead gallop, came through around the corner, and the fence was up, and the horse went to jump the fence and caught his feet in the fence, and
No,
Todd.
no, no.
Okay, what
That
was it?
was that was that. You're mixing up
2 stories?
Yep. See, there's scars right here on my chin. And the barbed wire fence was actually a motorcycle. I was going out
Oh
to.
yeah, coming back from
Yeah,
campus.
I was going out to go for a motorcycle ride out in the area beyond, and I had shot one of the neighbor's cows because his cow with a BB gun or a 22, I don't remember anyway, because it got into our garden and was just like chomping away at our garden. So I shoot it away, and next thing you know, a couple days later, maybe a week later, I don't quite remember, but I went out to go ride the motorcycle, and I was riding back, and there was one strip of barbed wire fence that was up, and I saw it when it was about from me to her, and I just went like this, and it just grabbed my chin and drug me off the bike, and I laid right there at the bike while the bike went down the trail and stopped when the trail went back up. With the horse, I was I think it was the weekend, and so I had gone to my friend's house, and we were, it was really windy, I think, and we were playing. He had an old World War II parachute, and he had a driveway that was up, and we would ride the parachute with the wind going off, jumping off the driveway. Anyway, so we got tired of that, and I went home early at probably around lunchtime. And she called. Well, that's part what's short. She's right. She did call, and I think it was afternoon, for me to come home for dinner. And Patty Bell said I had left at 11 o'clock. Oh, go ahead and tell the story from there.
Okay, that's when you came home late and you I can't remember.
I was riding a horse,
yeah, riding a horse, and
and you guys couldn't find me,
yeah.
and then Chuck went out and found me, and he found me at the base of the tree.
Oh yeah, you hit the tree. You were running at a dead gallop because you were late and you were afraid.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh yeah. And then we had to call an ambulance, and because you had hit your head, your scalp,
Uh-huh.
and they called the ambulance, and they said they didn't know if you were going to make it or not because you had hit it and did so much damage. And so then I freaked out. Oh boy, down to the hospital, and they took you to Spokane.
Well, how did they take me there? They took the helicopter,
The
right?
helicopter came to the school ground and picked you up. The hospital took you to the school ground parking lot,
Uh-huh.
and the ambulance came in there, or the helicopter came in there, landed, and came and got you and took you to Spokane to the emergency. And oh boy, but you made it. Look at you now.
Look at me now. Ah.
Yeah, it was tough and go though. It was, 1 and 2, what it was going to do with you, if your brain was going to be okay or whatever. And another time you were riding your horse down the driveway, because we had a big steep driveway, and you were riding your horse down the driveway at a dead gallop and came flying off your horse too and got hurt. Do you remember that?
Oh.
Yep, you got up, flew off the horse and out in the middle of the driveway. Oh man, oh man. I thought, boy, he's bound and determined to hurt himself.
Yeah. I do remember the sand hill that we had halfway down the driveway, that big sand hill that went down, and I went off there with that little cart, that snow cart that had a steering wheel on it.
Uh-huh.
And Dad would plow off that little ridge of snow,
And landed in the lake?
and I went down that sand hill and went across. I hit that and ended up stuck in a tree.
Yeah. And the water was down there, and the little creek was down there, and the water, the lake, I called it a pool, a big pool, but it was pretty good size. Yeah, that was awful. Yeah. But you're natural boys, that's what kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of life. And And it was, at least we lived in the country, and it was nice. We were in no city living,
Right?
and that's what I wanted. I wanted to raise you guys in the country, not in the city. That's why we left Seattle. Yep. Sometimes I'd wonder that whenever time you got hurt. God. And Danny ran with the wrong crowd and drank, and he was the opposite of you. Jeez. Taking out Bernie's fence, because they were all drunk. The kids were down at the bar down there in that other town. And
Riverside.
Riverside, yep, the Riverside bar. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Yep. Came home all drunk and off the side of the road. My new car. Yep, the good old days. That's just you and me.
Yep.
Danny's up in heaven.
Yeah. That's better than thinking he's buried in the ground in Concord Alley above a lake.
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. That's where I want to be buried, though. 'Cause that's I want to be.
Oh
next to
yeah,
Dad.
well you've got multiple places I'm going to spread your ashes.
I got four. I got four plots there. Hi.
Look at that! It's the rat dog.
Hi, baby. This is my little snoozer. Gonna peek around the corner there.
Yeah. He found his grassy spot.
Yep. Yep. Because he's not supposed to walk on cement or